With Darren Stevens claiming a fifer, Kent had the better of the penultimate day of their LV County Championship match with fellow strugglers Leicestershire in Tunbridge Wells, although the previous day's rains means that a positive result is still unlikely. Only 22.5 overs have been possible on the first 2 days because of the weather, and that meant that Leicestershire resumed their first innings on 74 for 4 on the third morning, and for the first 45 minutes or so everything was working out rather nicely for them, with Matt Boyce and Shiv Thakur, a pair who enjoy each other's company at the crease, rebuilding the innings well enough after they come together on the first day with their team in a Stevens-inspired spot of bother. Stevens enjoys playing against the county he represented for 8 seasons up until 2004, and he was the man who got the breakthrough for his third wicket of this innings, Thakur the man to go as he offered Ben Harmison a catch in the gully after making 30. It started another Leicestershire mini-collapse. In the next over, Boyce's resistance was ended by Callum Haggett as the batsman played on in spite of trying to leave the ball alone. Josh Cobb also didn't last long. His season is a bit of a mystery. In 3 one-day innings this summer, he's hit 3 brilliant hundreds, but in the 4-day game he's now made only 107 runs in 10 innings after he was legged before to Stevens for 2 here. Playing with one hand probably doesn't help. That cluster of wickets had left the visitors on 123 for 7, and the chances of earning even one batting point was beginning to disappear. It was left to tail-enders Ollie Freckingham and Jigger Naik to try to correct things, and they did at least see out 10 overs in adding 32 valuable runs for the 8th wicket. Both, though, were out before lunch. On 15, Freckingham got a leading edge to a ball from Charlie Shrek to give Daniel Bell Drummond a simple catch, while Naik, having posted a score of 23, edged to Matt Coles, who took a fine catch in the slips. It was then left to Stevens to finish off the innings half an hour after the break. He had Robbie Williams held by Coles to end with figures of 5 for 39 from 19.5 overs, his best of the season, and surprisingly only the 4th fifer of his career. He'd helped dismiss his old team for 186, although that was soon being put into perspective after Bell Drummond was LBW to Freckingham with only 14 runs on the board in reply. Freckingham is having a very good debut season. That was his 23rd wicket, and he would have had his 24th had he not overstepped the mark before Brendan Nash played the ball back onto his stumps. Nash and Rob Key, who simply loves scoring runs against this opposition, then settled in. Although the earlier rain will make winning this game difficult from here, Kent went about their business in the right way. They still had time to bat for a while to establish a good enough first innings lead and to then have their opponents back in on the final afternoon trying to save the game. First, of course, Kent needed to lay a solid platform with the bat, and that's what these two were able to do. They went into the day's final session still together and continued to make batting a lot easier than Leicestershire had made it look at the Neville ground. Key made it to the 50 mark for the 114th time, this latest one being reached with his 9th 4 from his 109th delivery. He struck his next ball for 4 as well. At the age of 34, the former Kent captain still has some good years ahead of him, and he clearly still enjoys batting. As does Nash, who also got to a 50 before the close, the 5th time he's got at least that far in the championship summer. With batsmen as clinical as these two are, it's a wonder why their side are currently at the foot of the table. Nash needed 117 deliveries for his effort, that being his 9th boundary. This pair batted through the rest of the day against a rather venomous Leicestershire attack. Neither had any real problems in scoring their runs as they closed in on their visitors' first innings total with only 1 wicket down, Key ending the day on 81 and Nash 65. Between them, they've added 145 runs for the second wicket, taking the total to 159 for 1, which leaves them only 27 runs behind, but with only 1 more day to play. A flurry of runs from Kent and then Leicestershire wickets could yet make this game interesting on the last day, but the draw remains the big favourite.